Hey again, it's Elena. I didn't expect to do another video quite so soon, and you may notice that I'm out in a patio room surrounded by children's drawings. That is because in order to do these, I have to hide in the place in my house where my children cannot find me. And by find me, I just mean be loud in the background. But here I am, doing a video for you, and the reason is this book, An Ember in the Ashes. I actually had already started another book when I picked this up. It was recommended to me and I was told I needed to read it immediately, and because I can't take pressure, I did it immediately. And I wasn't really even planning on reviewing this book, but I got so many questions about it today that I thought I might better give it a shot. Overall, I liked it. I think it's worth reading. It was a fun book, it was a good book, it was an interesting story. I got through it in just a couple of days, so it obviously kept me going. I liked the characters, I liked the overall conflict and how I felt like it was resolved. I don't want to give any spoilers in this, so while you might get a couple of plot details, you're not going to get specific things about the ending or the storyline. But if you don't want to know anything about this book at all, you might want to come back to this later. I'll give you a minute. I think that was enough time. So, things I liked. I liked that the female protagonist in this story was a strong character, and per usual in these sorts of books, she doesn't necessarily realize that she's strong until she gets to a certain point in the story, but she did realize it on her own. It wasn't one of those stories where people are constantly saying to her, "No, you can save us, no, you can save us," and then finally she's pushed into it and realizes that she is the thing that will save the whole world. It was more along the lines of she had this driving force keeping her going and realized along the way that it was herself and that she could depend on herself. I really liked that she learned that she didn't need other people. I also liked that the relationship between the main female and male character in this story, while maybe there were some romantic elements, it wasn't the entire focus of the story. It was a strong story without those elements, and the whole thing was not hung up on the will they or won't they. There was not a love triangle that was like the main focus of the entire book, which is sometimes fun, but I was not in the mood for it at this moment in my life. Some things I wasn't quite sure about. I feel like, I don't know, it didn't suck me in the way that I expected this kind of book would suck me in. It didn't make me feel like I so much had to know what was going to happen. I had a little bit of anxiety about a couple of characters and what might happen to them. I have this tendency of getting really attached to side characters. But it seemed like the moments where something really terrible might happen, it got resolved fairly quickly. It got resolved in a believable way, but not necessarily in a complicated or deep way, if that makes sense. Overall, I wanted to give this book like 3.5 stars on Goodreads. I started out with 4, felt like that wasn't exactly where I was, so I ended up giving it 3, but I'm leaning closer to 4. And if you're not sure if you should read this book, I'll show you the cover again. It's lovely, by the way. Kind of makes me wish I had the hardcover. I'd say give it a shot. If you are into fantasy type, strong female character, young adult type, romance maybe stuff, maybe they can put that on the back of the book jacket if they do a reprint of this book. I would say you'd probably enjoy this. Give it a shot. And that's all that I've got for you on this right now. I really look forward to hearing what you guys think about this book when you read it. I know I have a conversation coming up with my Tumblr friend Maureen about this very book, and she's the one that made me read it, so I hope she's ready. If you have thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comments here. Find me on Tumblr, find me on Twitter. You can find all that information below this video, and maybe subscribe, and I'll see you again later. Bye!